We're going to demonstrate the Learning Lens application from the UMGC 670 capstone course from summer 2024. And this is the login screen to our application. It's designed for the teachers, so I'm going to start with our generic teacher account we have set up. And these credentials are being checked against our Moodle server, so you have to have an active account in a Moodle server in order for this to work. If you don't have an account, none of the features work, so until you have an account, it does not matter. It reaches out to the Moodle server to verify that I am a teacher of at least one course in our particular Moodle server. Once it verifies that, it brings me to the dashboard. And we can see at the top that I have a back button, a home button, which brings us back to the dashboard. The name of the particular function we're at, in this case, it's just the app name, but in the other pages, it's more specific. We have some user settings, which right now is limited to picking and changing a theme color of the entire app. And then we also have the profile picture from my Moodle account, and if I click on that, it'll log me back out. On the dashboard, we have three main functions here. One is we can view a list of the courses that I'm a member of, and it takes a minute because it's reaching out to the Moodle server. And these are the 4 courses I am a member of right now, and if I click on one of those courses, it takes me to a listing of all the assignments in the top row. That's our carousel here. And in the bottom row, it's a listing of all the, well, I said that backwards, sorry. The top row is all the assessments, and the bottom row is all the assignments, in which case we're mostly worried about the essays because that's the main function that we're talking about. And then we have the option to create a new assessment or a new assignment here. But let's go back to the dashboard. And we also can go and look at every assessment for every course in one spot and create a new assessment. Or we can go look at every assignment for every course in one spot and or create an assessment, or assignment, excuse me. So what I want to do now is I'm going to go to assessments. I'm going to create a new assessment. And now what we're going to do is we're going to give this a name. And let's call this book report, and create a book report for a freshman high school English class. Make sure there are descriptors for content and grammar. All right, and then for subject, let's do language arts, and then we said to be freshman. And oh, I'm doing the wrong thing. I'm thinking of the essay assignment. This is the other one. I need to create an assessment. So let's change this up. Let's call this an assessment on Robert Frost, and create a quiz about the poet Robert Frost and his poems. All right, and language arts, 9th grade, and let's do 2 multiple choice, 2 true false, and 2 short answer. And then we can choose which model we want to use. I'm going to go with OpenAI's ChatGPT, and we'll let it create some questions for us. And on the next screen, if all goes well, we should see 2 of each type, and we get an opportunity to review them. And in that review, it shows us the formatting that is compatible with Moodle and which one's correct and the feedback that's going to be there. And we can see the first 2 are multiple choice, the second 2 are true, false, and the last 2 are short answer. But if I want a different version of a question, I can just swipe right and it'll go out and it'll generate a new version of the same topic for me. And you can see this one is quite complex, but if I decide I don't like that, I can swipe left and it just removes it. Now I end up with 5 questions. And let's say I'm happy with this, so now I'm going to send it to Moodle. And here, I pick which course I want to put it in. It's going to be Wizardry. And the section number I want it to appear in is section 1, and I want this quiz to be 3 questions. And I'm going to make sure that it's open starting tomorrow. And so what's going to happen is even though the question generated 5 questions, this is going to create a quiz in the Wizardry class that only has 3 questions that are selected at random from that pool of 5. And each time a student makes a quiz attempt, it will be a different 3 questions. So if I send this to Moodle, it's going to tell me that it's submitted successfully. And now what I'm going to do is go to my Moodle site that I logged in. I'm going to log in as a student this time. Joe Student. And I'm pretty sure Joe Student is a member of my wizardry class, so we'll see here. And let's go to my courses and wizardry. And I think I put it in section 1. There's Robert Frost. And if I attempt the quiz, let's see, I'm going to say it's that one. And 4 times? That sounds reasonable, I'll say true. And provide one symbol most frequent use, nature. And finish attempt. Small. And of course, the Moodle settings are that we can look right away, and it looks like nature, I got that right, correct, so I got all 3 right. But now if I go back to that quiz, and I do another attempt, we're going to see that now we have different questions because it's pulling them randomly from that set of 5. Snowy gum. Something about the woods. I don't remember the full name. It's been too long since I've done freshman English. And I already know that one, so that one happened to come back again. But every time we take it, it's going to give us a separate version. So that is our first function that we used, is creating AI-generated questions in a given category and sending them to Moodle as an assignment. So our other function is we specifically, the requirement was to generate a rubric for an essay writing assignment, but you could generate a rubric for other assignments too, but it works best for anything that could be submitted to Moodle as text, because when we're done, it's going to become an assignment in Moodle that uses online text. So in this case, let's do a 5-point scale, and let's do OpenAI, and the standard will be poets. And the description is write biography about Robert Frost. Be sure to include details about his early work, late work, and any awards earned. Also have criteria for grammar. And additional customization, we could add details like we want to only include information from a certain textbook, for example. So I'm going to hit Generate Rubric. And we can see here that it has given us an example rubric on a 5-point scale. And if we didn't like it, we could hit another one, or maybe we could change the descriptor, or we could change to a different AI model. But I'm going to say I like this one, so I'm going to say Continue to Edit Rubric. And if I want to fine-tune it in some fashion, I could. So let's say here, for this down here, I'm going to change this to say Not Attempted. And I like that better. All right, so now I'm going to send it to Moodle. And it's just like the quiz. I pick which course I want it to be in, which section I want it to be in. We'll do section 1 again, and this one will be poets. So we'll see poet, bio. And then we see our rubric again, and then there's the description and the availability for this. We'll make sure that we've picked some dates that are reasonable. And now I'm going to send it to Moodle. Once again, it says it's been submitted successfully. So if I go back and I look at my courses as Joe Student, and wizardry, and I think I put it in section 1 this time. There we go, poet bio. So now it's an assignment, not a quiz. I can see that the grading criteria has shown up, and you can see the not attempted that I modified has shown up here and all the points, so it's all been sent to Moodle in a compatible way. Now I'm going to add a submission, and let's say I think poetry is a waste of time, but I do like song lyrics. They have meaning. Let's see what happens with that. I'm going to save my changes. And now I can say that it's submitted for grading and it's ready. So now if I go back to my app and I go to courses, and I go to wizardry, and I look through my essays for my bio assignment. There it is, poet bio. So let's click on that. And now I see all the students that are in that class. which is a lot, but if I go up here and filter by, I just want to see ones that have submitted something, and we see here it is, Joe student has submitted something. If I view the details, we can see here is the text that Joe submitted, and I could actually grade it right now. So I could go ahead and give them marks and do feedback, but that's not what we're about. What I want to do, let's let OpenAI grade it for us and see what we get. OpenAI did not like it, and you can see that it also tells us the details of why it graded it that way. But as a teacher, if I want to, I could make a modification to any part of this and change the notes as well. Once I'm done, I can hit save, and it updates the grades and sends me back to do more assignments. Now if I go back to here and I go to, let's see, section 1, and I go back to this, and Joe student, now it'll say that it's been graded, and if I go down here, I can see the breakdown of what the grades were. So here you can see that I gave him the 1, and my comments are in place as well. So it did submit it to Moodle. And that's the main functions of our application.